What is it about the atmosphere in the Israeli society that allows these radicals to walk so safely on the main road and allowing these events to take place? How is it that these marginal, radical elements influence the entire society, bring the whole society into turmoil by these radical actions? So the question is actually, what's the tendency here? Why are the events becoming ever more radical and their effect over us is much greater, or is it much more sensitive towards these things? I really don't understand. What's the big fuss about? The fact that some ultra-Orthodox Jew that sat in jail for 10 years for a stabbing, in the same case of stabbing homosexuals, that he takes a knife. When was he released? A few days before the stabbing. So, as he was released, he took a knife and he does the same act. So, either it's a psychiatric case or something of the kind. But one way or another, it's not someone else. He did it. And it doesn't happen every Monday and Friday. Is it really possible to say that this is something happening somewhere there in the margins of society, some psychiatric case saying, okay, it happened? I don't accept this attitude that an ultra-Orthodox Jew took a knife and attacked some homosexual because he is a homosexual. This is something that doesn't happen on a regular basis. So, first of all, why do we look at it as something that, oh my God, what happened? And right now, isn't there someone else that's taking a knife and wants to kill someone else? So he wants to kill him because he's a homosexual. So someone else wants to kill someone because his kid broke his window. So why do you think it's happening? I think that this is something that is blown out of proportion. I may be saying this in an exaggerated manner, but what I want to say is that there is a phenomena, and there are many phenomena among the people, in all of its different factions and parts, that these hate those. The Democrats hate the Republicans, whites and blacks hate each other, Latin Americans, Afro Americans, and whatnot. I just came back from the US, and there's tremendous hatred. Right, left, the North hates the South, and vice versa, and whatnot. But along with it, they live together somehow, and they're not starting to cry out Gewalt, that someone took a knife and attacked someone. It happens, and especially that we see that the person himself is the case. It's not a repeating case where an ultra-Orthodox Jew is attacking homosexuals. Maybe it's not the same case. So why should we interpret it this way? Maybe our response. So the problem is the response. It's that the media are taking this case, that maybe this is an ill person. He's sick, he's in hatred, he has a certain kind of a deviation. And if you'll release him tomorrow, the next day, he'll do it again. So either don't release him or put him under surveillance. How does it happen that he goes in there with a knife and does the same thing again? There was also criticism about that. Okay, this is clear, but I want to ask. I want to ask something that will maybe bring in a new aspect. Where it was a case of some crazy person that was released from prison and there was a problem with security, okay, but 5-6 hours later, another case where a group of Jews go and throw Molotov cocktails at a Palestinian home, kill a year-and-a-half-old baby. But why are you connecting these cases? I'm not connecting. Life did. And so in a few hours, Jews that are not connected, or maybe they are, I don't know, and probably from different factions within Judaism, do the same. I don't agree with something that I see, and I go and kill people because I think I'm right and they're wrong. So the shock is about the coincidence that both these things happened less than a day apart. I think that a Jewish person should get up in the morning and ask, what is this? Does a Jew do something like that? In the name of the king, the Messiah? This is what they wrote on the wall, the graffiti they left, in the name of the Israeli Torah. Mister, I don't want to hear about the Israeli Torah, but they wrote there. You want to hear my response? You finished? You asked, what am I shocked about? I told you. I don't want to hear the house of Israel, Israel, Jews, state of Israel, the Torah of Israel. These things don't exist, and therefore don't shove them. Did you tell me about them during the 12 years that I was in school? No. Did you tell me about them through the media during my life that now I'm 70? No. So why are you suddenly saying Israel, Jews, merciful, the people of Israel, the house of Israel, and something? Where are you taking these words from? How are these words related to our president? Is he Jewish? He raised us, he educated us this way to be Jews, so afterwards he can come and say something, and if so, then he has to take this responsibility upon himself because he stabbed. He's responsible for the people. You're turning things upside down. I don't accept it. I hear rubbish in what you're saying. Rubbish. First of all, these cases are not connected to one another. That these hate these and those hate those, yes. If Arabs do it to Jews, it's okay. If Jews do it to Arabs, no, why? How could it be? These are Jews. Why? How come? Why are there different standards? How is a Jew today different from an Arab? He got the same education, same upbringing. What? Simply so. From school. What education in school? Hamas have summer camps how to kill Jews. In Israel, I never saw. Maybe now there already is because it's a fact that they killed. But this is why you're so in shock. You're not? No, I'm not. So please explain, how does it happen that Jews, how did it happen that in one day, different Jews killed? I don't want to hear 7 hours. I don't want to hear the connection between these two things. It's nonsense. It's a coincidence? It's not even a coincidence. Don't put these things together. First of all, prove, then talk. Prove what? And if there will be a difference of 2 or 3 months, then that's something else. Nonsense. Secondly, suppose the Oren Levy family, your family, that lives in some village. Someone wanted to burn down their home once, twice, their neighbor was killed, their cow was stolen, and so on and so forth. This family feels itself constantly harassed, got up at night, and goes and does the same to their neighbors, to the Arabs, what they did more than once. To them, I don't understand. What is there so special about this dispute that we have to forgive the Arabs and Jews? We have to really cry about it. How could it be? Please explain. I'm a person who fell from the moon. Please tell me what's going on here. Isn't it a people as all people, the Jews? Yes, they are. And even more, everyone hates them, and therefore maybe they have a justification to protect themselves. Are the Arabs allowed to attack the Jews and to teach their children to kill Jews? And if I'll teach my children to kill Arabs that way, is it allowed or not? There are measurements here for two different nations. So, how can you talk about integrity, justice? There's none. First of all, calibrate this. Balance it. What? Your attitude towards everything that's going on. You started by making a generalization. You said that this is how Jews are, they're ready to kill the Arabs, it happens in a day, that someone stabs with a knife and the other does this, and you put these cases together. Life did, it's not me. I'm asking how to cope with what life brings our way. I see no connection between these two actions. I don't. There are many people today, I read in the media, that they're saying that it's again our condescending, that we claim that we're better, and here's an example that we're no better than anyone. True, we're worse than everyone. This is what I say. How? How? That we have to be an example for all the people and we're the very opposite. So maybe this is why we're in shock. You feel that you have to be an example for everyone? I think so. Where? I'll give you an example. There's war between Israel and their enemies. Israelis treat the enemies casualties in their hospitals. You're really falsifying everything from beginning to end, because it doesn't say anywhere that you have to cure them. I don't know whether it says or not. Mister, if you're talking about the people of Israel, about the Torah of Israel, then you have to also talk about the Israeli laws. Otherwise, you take other rules and you make a whole porridge out of it. You can't do it this way. You have a general confusion. This was going on. I'm a bit confused. Not a bit. Aren't you in shock that a Jew kills a person that doesn't agree with them? Aren't you shocked that a Jew does it? No. Aren't you in shock that a Jew does it? No. How is he a Jew? He's Jewish. He's a descendant to the Jewish people. I'm saying that today there is no Israeli nation. There are no Jews. According to the definition of the Torah, there are no Jews. We're the people of Israel because in the past, next to Abraham, we committed to be and love thy neighbor as thyself. We left this rule. We're no longer the people of Israel. It's called the people of Israel in exile, that we left all the rules of the people of Israel. Today, we're just some kind of a flock that has no idea who he is.